Hey guys, welcome to the Farm.ily. We're going to do a follow-up to the video that we did last week of where the heifer fell through the ice. If you didn't get a chance to see that video, here's a recap. So we went out Friday morning to check our cows, and we had noticed something out on the pond, so we had ran out there, and we had noticed one of our heifers had fallen through the ice. At that point, I had sent the kids back to the house, and they grabbed my axe, and they had grabbed me a sheet of plywood to be able to try to get out there to her to see what we could do. Once I'd got about 3/4 of the way out, as you can see, the ice started to break underneath me. So I figured it was just best to get my feet underneath me and just get in there and see about getting a pathway cut all the way back to the bank. The ice was probably still about 2 inches thick, but fortunately it had started to melt, and that allowed me to cut a path pretty quickly and pretty easily back to her. It was a little bit tough because underneath me there was probably a full 6 to 9 inches of mud that I was standing in, plus walking in the water and being very cold. Once I had got a path cut back to her, back to the bank, I went back out to her, and right where she was at was one of the deeper parts, and I was able to get to her and get a hold of her and get her turned around and get her feet underneath her. But I had to be very careful in the process of doing that because the water was deep enough that if she would have got scared or excited, she possibly could have knocked me underneath it also, which would not have been good. Once I got a hold of her, I was able to get her all the way back to the bank where Georgia had to come in to about her waist, and she helped me get her out onto the bank. So once we got her up here on the bank, we had some extra help show up, and we were able to get her all the way pulled out onto the bank. And we had a couple towels, but we started pulling off sweatshirts and anything that we could get a hold of, and was using that to try to dry her off. We were trying to get her warmed up and then trying to stimulate her. The reason you don't see me right now is I'm standing behind the camera trying to get feeling back in my hands. My hands had went completely numb, and I just couldn't feel anything at that point. So as you're going to see here, we had just got her pulled over the pond bank where we had a little bit more room to work, and Owen had ran over and got us a bunch of hay, and we were using that hay to just pull off the extra water that was down in her fur. We had it underneath her so she wasn't laying down on the frozen ground, and we were just trying to use it to the best of our ability to really try to warm her up and stimulate her and try to get her muscles to relax, because you can see she's pretty cold there, and she was really struggling a lot. As we were doing this, we realized that she was going to need more than what we could give her right there, and that she needed to really have some extra heat. So I sent the kids back up to the house, and they grabbed our little tractor and they brought it with the bucket out, and we were able to get her put up into the bucket, and we used the tractor to lift her up and to move her about 50 foot so that we could put her inside the stock trailer. And by getting her in the stock trailer, we were able to get her moved up to the house and be able to get more hay underneath her, get some fresh hay, get her dried off some more, and then we were able to get our propane turbo heater, and we were able to point that on her also, and to use that heater to really try to warm her up because it was still pretty cold outside. Then once we got her in the trailer, we had the heater on her. Diana ended up coming back out and helping. Georgia was working on her. Evan was trying to help. He just loves on the animals that we have. And we had Sadie holding the heater, just trying to get the heat right down on her, trying to get her warmed up so that we could try to give her the best chance of success here. At this point also, I had left for a few minutes. I ran up the road, and we have a veterinarian there, and I explained and showed them what had happened, and they gave us some medicine to give her, just to try to give her a boost and to kick her in some extra energy and to make her feel better, and to try to get her a lot more comfortable and to try to keep any sickness or illness from setting in. So unfortunately, she did not make it. She ended up passing away late that evening. As you can see, we spent several hours working with her, trying to give her everything that she needed, but we were not successful. Unfortunately, that's what we call the ugly side of farming. Is sometimes stuff just happens. It was unfortunate, and she was not able to make it. A lot of the reason I really wanted to show the video was so you guys could see how much we tried, and that we did everything within our power to take care of her, because we put a lot of work into it, and we just feel if you're going to have animals, you have to take care of them, and if you're not willing to, you shouldn't have them. So the Bible says that the Lord gives and the Lord takes away, and right after that it says, may the name of the Lord be praised. And we love that verse because he gives us what we have. Sometimes he takes away from us, and that's okay. Because later on that day, we had some baby lambs that were born. And so here on the farm, we have life, and we do have death, and things do pass away. But we try everything we can to bring more into it than we take away from it. We try to take care of them to the best of our ability. We try to give them a safe, happy home. We try to give them nice green pastures where they have plenty of room. And we just really want our animals to be happy and comfortable. We don't raise our stuff inside. We just don't think that's what's best for them. And we don't think that's how God intended for us to raise our animals. But we wanted to give you a lot of insight and just let you see kind of what happens sometimes, and that it's not always easy, but we give it everything that we have. So I hope that answered a lot of questions, because I had a lot of people asking kind of what happened and to try to give a little bit more insight into it. If you have any questions or any comments, please put them down below. Me, Georgia, Diana, somebody will do the best we can to answer them. We just appreciate you guys, and we just really wanted to show you kind of what it's like here.